Hey guys, I think we are live. A lot of Pokemon Go going on, so I'm a lot tired. Actually, turns out when you spend a whole day in Houston playing Pokemon Go, probably not the best thing for your health. It's very hot. It is like blistering hot, and wow, it is so hot. I don't know why the Go Fest has to be like July. It kind of, in some places, like in Houston, it's just not possible to play for long periods of time. I really hate Whatnot. Whatnot is like the bane of raid invite. I don't know if I actually invited anyone to the raid. We didn't have time. Oh, that's good. Yeah, those are the two best Pokemon, Alex, in the game. Zamazenta and Zacian, and we raided a lot. Hey, Justice for Tattle. I saw that Don't F with Justice. She's getting surgery, so we wish her well. Yeah, give me a second. I saw that from her post, community post. It's like some weird way to like spell it. Hopefully this like gets me there. Justice for all. Okay, anyway. Yeah, Greninja's okay, but he's not very good in the game, and his Mega hasn't come out yet. What are we going to do anyway? I'm just going to get my AirPods, and we'll go back in. Hey, Colin, hope you are doing well. And we'll finish off the Reckless Ben video.
Worth it for them to give it back to us anymore.
Oh. It looks like we have Reckless Ben, Meat Canyon. Oh, man, it was really hot yesterday. All right, let's continue on. I got a membership and left her a message. Oh, that's her channel. Okay, thank you, Alex. Yeah, I think she's in surgery now. Oh, no, that's Justice for Tattle. Okay, no. Nope, just... No, it's, okay, whatever. We'll just continue on. I'm not in the... Yeah. We'll just continue on. Shout out to her. Hopefully her surgery goes well. Yeah, we have a Discord channel. Shout out to BJC. Looks like she's doing co-owners and CFO Reed Bringhall, Adam Bringhall, MLM SPY. Oh, SPY active. Oh, I was thinking of stocks. Activates alleged and more. Oh, okay. Cool stuff going on in that show. And we will go here. Oh. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, so she is undergoing surgery. We wish her the best of luck. We wish her best wishes for a speedy recovery. I think I'll just put it here. Okay, so I saw that. I think that's it, and we can continue on with the video. I feel like... Oh, yeah, so we'll continue on with the video, guys.
More.
I'm not going to distribute those things at this point. We've kept them on hold for this long, so...
Let's see what else Bricks and Minifigs is accusing me of. Well, they're suing me for defamation. But this entire time, Bricks and Minifigs is actually the ones defaming me.
They themselves say, hey, you guys stole this product from this person. If you don't give it back, I'm going to burn the place down.
Let's go to the next thing Bricks and Minifigs is accusing me of. Extortion. When they're the ones actually extorting me by saying if I don't let them steal the Legos from us, they're going to make up a reason to throw me in jail.
You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a fucking thief.
Dang.
Okay?
Okay.
You can shut the fuck up. That's your fucking choice.
Bricks and Minifigs is also getting me for RICO charges.
They're charging Reckless Ben for RICO. I think it is, shout out to, everyone. Also, this got featured in, Moist Critical's video as well, so that was cool. So we're also in a Moist Critical video. More likely that the police are guilty of RICO, right?
And if you look at the CEO's previous businesses, he actually got sued for RICO. He's the one guilty of RICO, not me. They're also accusing me of sending a sniper to shoot out the windows of the McNeff house.
You guys want to come to, you can see the window and see where they were shooting from. It could be a sniper blade on the hill.
When the police got there, they realized it was actually a construction worker who accidentally shattered the window.
Seems more.
Oh, thank you, Lee, for the $4.99. Awesome channel, man. We really appreciate it. Yeah, so we also got a, I guess a shout out from Moist Critical watching Reckless Ben's video. So it has 4.4 million views. I mean, you know how much it would cost for you to like run an ad, like a organic ad read? Probably like more than like we make in a month. Not this month, but most months.
It's more likely that it happened from construction work than it happened from some random people across the way.
But even after all this, they still go online and say it was me.
He's trying to get Ben Schneider for like attempted murder. He's basically trying to set Ben Schneider up for attempted murder when meanwhile it was a nail from his own construction worker.
So what's the moral of the story here? It looks like everything bad Bricks and Minifigs is doing, they think that I'm the one that's doing the bad thing. It makes no sense.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts where he sits down with the police and they say, "Can you circle a picture of Ben?" And he's like, "Yep." And then, "Job well done. Everyone, we can go home now. The perpetrator has been identified." It's like, wait, doesn't he have like YouTube videos of himself? Like, why? This is the funny. I don't exactly know what's going on here, but it seems like it's.
So, just to let you know, we call it double blind. The person who committed the crime may or may not be in the lineup or depicted. So I will give...
So I've never seen this before. Like, I've seen in movies where, like, you look at a lineup of, like, real humans. Like, how would he not know what Ben looks like? I'm not understanding, like... So we printed an image of Ben's face from YouTube, and now you have to identify Ben, like... Is this a murder case? Like, what... Why would we need to do that? And then they like, and then he circled the right one, and everyone's like, "Wow, we got him, boys, we got him." And it's like, wait, why? Like the case has nothing to do with like a identification. As you have him on camera, you have him on your own corporate camera. He's posted, you know, multiple times on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel where the logo is his face. He's been on TBS. Like, why are you identifying him? And look at the date of this, right? Like, look at the date.
Give this to you. You'll have as much time as you need to choose someone, or
you have as much time, and then there's like a picture of 6 dudes, probably like 5 black dudes and Ben.
not choose anyone. Whenever you're able to feel that you have ID'd somebody, I just ask that you circle it and then initial next to it.
What?
Like that?
Perfect.
Okay. There you go.
Like, why do the police need this evidence? They don't know Reckless Ben. Reckless Ben's been to the police station. He's been to the police station multiple times. Like, what was the point of this? They had Ammon come in. They had Ammon come in to identify him from a picture of 6 people.
Okay, cool.
Really, this was like the final step that I needed. This is legit. We've been able to.
This is the final step I needed. God, without this step, without you circling what Ben looks like, we wouldn't be able to get him, even though he's literally walking into the office right now. Yeah, I had a poll up, like, which is the worst police department? The American Fork? Now, again, granted, American Fork will just beat the shit out of you and knock out your windows. So the American Fork is certainly very bad. We don't need to argue. We don't have to argue, like, are they both good or bad? No. Oh, the American Fork. Yeah, I had this post. Worst police department so far. American Fork or the Provo City? You guys can vote.
verify who he is now.
Yep.
So the police put on this big performance to make it look like they're going to all this work to verify the facts. When in reality, they already know who I am. They already subpoenaed Google. They already watched my entire first Lego video. They already went through all my search history. To me, this just feels like a staged performance so they can show the world, hey, look, we verified everything, when if they would have just put an equal amount of effort into watching the raw footage I submitted to them, they would have found out that Ammon's just completely lying to them. But for some reason, they didn't. A few weeks later, when I ended up going to court, this was the state's response.
My name is Nick Mielstein. I'm the prosecutor. Is Benjamin Schneider here?
Yes.
If you want to take care of that today, we could do what we call a plea in abeyance.
Were you able to see the footage I submitted to the police of our interaction?
So do you know what, so a prosecutor is talking to Reckless Ben with no lawyer. He obviously knows Reckless Ben doesn't have a lawyer at this point in time. Obviously, we know he has lawyers now, but at this point in time, the prosecutor is taking advantage that there are no lawyers. And he's like, do you want a plea in advance? So a plea in advance is like, hey, plead that you're guilty, and we'll let you off light. They are, they do not want to go to trial. They do not want Ben to get a lawyer and fight the criminal. Remember, this is the second criminal case. This is in Provo City. The first criminal case is in American Fork. So this is kind of a underhanded tactic, right? Strike when Ben doesn't have a lawyer.
Action.
I have not watched it, no.
Okay, because in that footage, you can clearly see that.
So Ben has submitted evidence to him showing that he is innocent. And he asked, in the first words out of his mouth, do you want to plea in advance? No. Did you watch the footage? No, I did not.
That the second he tells us to leave, we say, okay, we'll leave. And then he calls the police and said that we threatened to burn down the building and shoot everyone inside. And he was just making up all these lies, which you can clearly see in the footage that we submitted. We were being respectful the whole time. We left the second he told us to.
Sorry, let me look.
And so it makes sense why the police would take me to court, because, I mean, he's threatening that we're going to burn down the building and shoot everyone, but we did nothing. Like, he's just saying that because he's trying to. I'm a documentary maker, so I'm making a documentary on the thing. So his logic is if he throws me in jail, then if he makes up a reason for me to go to jail, then I won't be able to expose them for their crimes. So that's the what's going on. It's clear as day in the footage if you watch it. It seems like they're just making up a bunch of false information in order to silence criticism.
So did you submit that to the police officer?
Yes.
Is the footage going such that it's still going, like when you step out the door?
It starts from when we're in the elevator before we talk to him to when we were back in the elevator going back down.
Obviously, a video doesn't necessarily show everything that possibly happened.
So according to the state of...
So yeah, the prosecutor is not your friend. The prosecutor has one job. So like we talk about like bias and unbiased. The judge should be unbiased, meaning that defendant, plaintiff, they're going to treat them fairly. The prosecutor has no such, I guess they don't have the responsibility to do that. So a prosecutor is very one-sided. If you are unfortunate enough to talk to a prosecutor, you're probably the defendant. And because of the prosecutor, you're probably a criminal defendant. There's a criminal case against you, probably. So the prosecutor, you never want to talk to them alone without your lawyer. And most importantly, you have to remember they're trying to put you in jail. So unlike the judge is not intentionally trying to put you in jail. The judge is a neutral third party, or should be a neutral third party. The prosecutor is not. He has some responsibilities under the law to be fair, but his end goal is to make sure that you take a plea deal, which will then lighten his docket, so then he can do more prosecution stuff. So this is exactly the type of person who may be the most dangerous because he doesn't have incentive or even a legally binding thing to help you out. Oh, welcome to the Associated Lawyers, MBTNC. Welcome here. So, typically speaking, if you're speaking in front of a judge, whatever the judge tells you, you can take to the bank. Again, yes, go east, go east. Again, it's again, typically speaking, a judge is not going to be biased against you. Now, if it's a bad judge or, something like that, then I don't know. I don't know what to say for that. But the majority of cases, if a judge tells you to do something, you should do it. If a prosecutor says, oh, do you want to do the plea in advance? That's just because he doesn't want to do the work. He wants to get the guilty, which makes him look good. Remember, prosecutors are also elected. So prosecutors, district attorneys are also elected by the people during an election cycle. So if you are the district attorney, you want to have a strong history of wins, and plea in advance is a very easy way that you don't even have to look at. I mean, this guy didn't even look at the case, and he's asking you to plea. This guy is not, he didn't even look at the evidence that Ben submitted, and he's already asking Ben to plea, which is, kind of insane, right?
Of Utah, the raw video that shows everything that possibly could have happened is not credible and could not have shown everything that possibly could have happened. And they didn't even watch it.
Yeah, so you cannot expect the prosecutor to help you. You cannot expect the prosecutor to help you. He is on the opposite side of yourself. It is in his best interest for you to take a plea deal or for him to win and you end up in jail. That makes it look like he's tough on crime. That makes, that's good for voters.
They're literally just taking Ammon's word for everything and completely ignoring all the evidence. So where does this leave me now? Not only am I being charged with a bunch of mystery crimes in American Fork, Utah, but I'm also being charged with a second-degree felony up to 15...
Hey, ACOB. I know that you guys had a pretty big interview. Hope you guys are well. I know. Shout out to ACOB. They had Reckless Ben and looks like Victor Nguyen on. So that was a big interview. They've been doing some great stuff. So yeah, they had Reckless Ben on. Looks like only 12 hours ago. So that's awesome, guys. Shout out to them. Oh, yeah, this is live here. Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday. So maybe we will review this a little later. Oh, the Pokemon. Yeah, the Pokemon Lego are coming out. The Pokemon Lego are coming out. People are very upset at the price point, I guess. But, if you collect Pokemon cards, you're already kind of used to it. Yeah, great interview and great watch.
15 years in jail in Provo, Utah. And now that they have written proof that I'm committing all of these insane crimes against them, obviously Bricks and Minifigs just made up everything, but that's not how the court sees it. The court thinks that these are real. And for whatever reason, the court wouldn't let me share my side. They only heard Bricks and Minifigs' side.
Ben's side was not in the room, was not heard. The court signed an order erasing his published work on the strength of the company's verified complaint and the company's motion, with no one there to say a word against it.
Yeah, the judge granted a...
Yeah, so that's why you need a lawyer, right? That's why you need a lawyer. Yeah, they posted on their live stream, so you can watch it here. So it looks like it was 12 hours ago. It looks like it was 12 hours ago. But yeah, it's a recent. So congrats on ACOB for the interview. That's awesome.
A temporary restraining order preventing me from even talking about Bricks and Minifigs, which sucks because this was the night I hit 1 million subscribers and all my friends threw a giant surprise party for me. Yeah, Bricks and Minifigs gets to just keep spreading their lies about me, and I just have to sit in silence. And
yeah, that's kind of sad. So he hit 1 million. They're celebrating it, and then at the end of the day, he's under a TRO, right? It does look like he lives in some type of warehouse or something. I thought it was like a daycare, but like why is the door handle like this low? Like this is, I'm not going insane, right? Like this is a door, but like the handle is like right here. It's like flipped. No, but not even flipped. It's like, I don't know if it's a different perspective and the angle is not right, but the door looks like really tiny compared to like Reckless Ben and the chair and even the trash can. And the doorknob is like right here. I don't know where he lives, but it's got to be fun. Oh, ACOB says we have posted the full live stream under live or the full interview only in our videos tab. Yes. So the full live stream is here. If you guys want to give it a look. And it looks like a clip of it or a part of it is here. So it's in both live, which is a longer one, which is 3 hours plus, and then a half hour for the video.
There's nothing I can do to stop them. It's crazy to think about how much public support I was getting.
$200,000 Lego dispute that's turning into one of the craziest legal cases and an internet crusade that is just exploding.
A $200,000 Lego collection. This $200,000 Lego scandal is literally one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
I think this might be the best video that I've seen. This is one of the crazier stories I think I've ever covered.
Run by Mormons.
Legos.
Reckless Ben.
Reckless Ben.
It really seemed like the entire internet was uniting.
Hassan Piker. Oh man, even Hassan Piker had to react. That's awesome. Shout out our good friend Hassan Piker.
To stand up to this bully of a company.
Bricks and minifigs can stuff it.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Brick by brick. Brick by brick.
It really did seem like we were right about to get the Legos back. But I was wrong.
Paul's like, I'm shocked that like no one has named their company Brick by Brick yet. Like, if you're, like, an independently run company, it's a really good name, and you get a lot of PR. I'm sure, like, Ben will come visit once in a while. It's very interesting. I mean, it makes perfect sense for a Lego company, right? Or a Lego reseller company.
Now the court has silenced me. And it looks like all the work I put into this was just for nothing. However, people were pretty upset that I was silenced and decided to protest. It sucks that I'm not even allowed to be a part of this movement.
Oh yeah, we saw this from Tyler's Productions, his viewpoint. It was kind of funny.
Anymore.
Brick by brick. Brick by brick.
Or maybe I can be here. I just have to be in disguise so no one recognizes me.
No.
All right, I'm here with.
Okay.
I'm Jerome. Just here to support the cause. Just an American Fork local. Just here to support.
Here with Jerome.
I spent the rest of the day protesting for the cause, and not a single person here recognized who I actually am. And maybe the protesting worked, because after a full month of remaining silent, I finally have an announcement.
Well, it looks like I don't need this disguise anymore. Because I have my freedom of speech back, baby. I can say whatever I want. I can say Bricks and Minifigs sucks. I can say Bricks and Minifigs such old people. And look, I just said it. I'm not in jail, which is sick. We got our First Amendment rights back. Yeah.
And now that I have my freedom of speech back, everyone is wondering how Bricks and Minifigs can make up for the fact that they made up all these lies about me to take away.
Here we got the importance of like actually getting the story correct. So the police reported that they were rubber ducks that were delivered to Josh's home by Tyler. And in fact, they were not rubber ducks, they were rubber chickens, which is obviously very important for what happens next.
Take away my freedom of speech. Most legal experts are saying I could easily win millions of dollars from Bricks and Minifigs, but instead, I have a better solution.
If they want to apologize, they can say that they're sorry by doing the chicken dance. And I will take that as a sincere form of apology. And once they do the chicken dance, then I will.
Yes. So according to Tyler, they sent him a box. So he had the UPS hat. They were trying to get him to do the chicken dance. And by doing the chicken dance, they would resolve Josh Johnson of all, like, you know, his sins and I guess crimes in this thing. And they would just leave him alone. But, so they were delivering him the rubber chickens. So at this point in time, it's kind of like the payoff, right? The payoff is like, what do they want from them? What are the terms of settlement, right? Again, I have no idea, like, where this is. It looks like a church that is, like, run down. Or a place with, like, a nice... Yeah, it looks like a church, right? Like... But maybe it's in, like, Mexico? Who knows?
And I will know that Bricks and Minifigs is sorry, and we can finally move on to the next video series, and it'll be awesome. So you guys might be thinking, why do you want them to do the chicken dance? And there's actually a reason. So this entire time, Bricks and Minifigs always says the right thing, but then their actions don't match their words at all. So I was thinking, well, if they give an apology, they might say the right things, you know, but they're not actually going to mean it. So by doing the chicken dance, I'm going to basically just be giving them another opportunity to do the right thing, not just with their words, but with their actions. And once they decide to do the right thing, then I'll move on to the next video series and never talk about Bricks and Minifigs again.
Yes.
And also make sure to check us out at...
So it only, and that's why when Bricks and Minifigs had their ad I was showing, and it was like a chicken Lego. So they're not going to do the chicken dance, obviously. Like, it's interesting. The Bricks and Minifigs PR responses have been really, really bad. Like, I think they have a PR woman who works for them. I just don't know, like, why she's so bad at her job.
At www.westealfromoldpeople.com, because right now we have 2 new Lego sets for sale that you can buy right now. One of Joshua Johnson and one
Ammon McNeff. Jeez.
Of Ammon McNeff. And we're only making 500 of each, and once all 500 of each sell out, we're never making any more. And you gotta buy them now, because someday they're gonna sell for like $1 million or something. They're gonna be collectibles. It's gonna be sick. Also subscribe to Patreon. You'll get tons of behind the scenes, tons of extra footage, full interviews. Also,
yeah, I think
part 4 is coming soon. If you subscribe to Patreon, you'll be the first to watch it. And also subscribe to part 5, subscribe to part 6, part 7, all the way to part 100. We're doing 100 parts. My lawyer said if Bricks and Minifigs sues me, which they've still not dropped their lawsuit, then it'll be at least 2 years and 52 weeks a year. That's 104 parts at least. So come back all the way till 100.
So, yeah, this is actually from Ben's most recent post. Some extra dots we were able to connect after part 3 came out that might be really big soon. We will see. So that he's talking about part 4. And I think they're doing some stuff, right? She didn't lie to Google. She lied to the judge to get the warrant. That was under criminal penalty. So she would be facing charges for that. But Google just compiled with the warrant because they don't have a lot of options. Probably the judge who signed the warrant would argue that the warrant is reasonable. So again, this is all speculation on the judge and so on. Okay, great video. We had a lot of time to watch. I think Meat Canyon's video, I can't show this. I know what Josh is trying to do to a police officer. I think we do have to, like, not show NF, you know, not safe for work stuff. But Meat Canyon does have a new video out with an old interview that he was holding on because of the TRO. No new information the community does not already know, but Meat Canyon provided some very good animation. Not safe for work warnings, but very funny. Yes, so the Josh Johnson thing, is very funny. Okay, let's just click on Meat Canyon for a little bit. Just give him a shout.
The franchisee.
He is also a huge Magic the Gathering player. So Papa Meat Canyon, he plays a lot of Magic the Gathering. Like, he is the probably, Pay Money Wubbies. Magic the Gathering is doing really well. Shockingly well. Now, it's not Pokemon prices, but it's getting, like, very high for, like, dual lands and Black Lotuses, and they're like, holy moly, right? So whenever I think about Papa Meat, I think about, Magic the Gathering.
franchisee will be held accountable, but we actually can't fire or, step over the line of that.
We're Lego company. Why are you being so mean to us?
Isn't that what it feels like?
Oh, they're bad. I'm not bad. I'm a 46-year-old man playing with Lego.
I'm 48. My wife has sex with other men. It's unfortunately true that people have become so infuriated hearing about how evil BAM is that they began harassing employees and review bombing locations that had nothing to do with the controversy, which is a shame. That doesn't mean that you should go into a store and like fucking actually physically hurt anybody or whatever. But if you're review bombing shit, I mean, it's fucking blame Ammon, dude. Blame your fucking head honcho. He's the reason that this is all happening, right? And Josh and the Fork Police Department.
A lot of people to blame.
Yeah, it's got a lot of things. There's a lot of things, a lot of targets you could throw up there. This actually hurts Ben's case, as BAM can now lump him in with the people that are doing these targeted attacks and harassment. And
so shout out to he's big in Magic the Gathering right now. I think he went to MagicCon Vegas. I saw a video. So he has a Magic channel. He has a Magic channel. So I mean, like, a lot of these influencers are playing Magic the Gathering now. So it's becoming quite trendy. So I'm sitting on like cards that have like doubled in price. Like Underground, no, not Underground Sea. That one hasn't really moved. Volcanic Island has like doubled in price. I don't really know why, but it looks like people really like it. Oh yeah, probably in the Norwegian countries, there's not as much crime. Alright, we will listen to BBQ's newest video. I think he has a newer video, right? Is this the newest video? Yes, he has a newer video. No, this is the newest video. Alright, this is the newest video. Shout out to BBQ. I think he's live streaming tomorrow sometime.
On Wednesday, July 7th, the federal judge finally removed Reckless Ben's gag order. Later that day, Reckless Ben finally released his part 3 to his investigative series on bricks and minifigs and the Lego scandal. Today, we're going to go through that video. It's been made public now. We're going to react to it, and I'm going to provide you insights into what I see as a civil litigator with over 15 years of experience practicing in cases in federal court, what I see through this video in terms of significant legal issues. So let's get into it.
Right now, I kind of don't even know what I'm being charged for because all of the body cam footage has been redacted, and they say it's to protect the victims. However, I think there are some redactions that maybe don't make sense and that weren't to protect the victims, and there's some things being said about me that are redacted that I don't know about.
So, Reckless Ben, obviously, through the discovery process in his criminal cases, will get access to those body cam footage. Additionally, I think all of it's been released now anyway. There was a leak at the police department. And so I think all of that's now been made public. Reckless Ben should be able to use that. And importantly, all that body cam footage can be used in his potential counterclaims against the American Fork Police Department. And all of that will be evidence. All of that will be used to impeach the credibility of the...
I think the most likely scenario is then Ben is like, okay, well, I'm going to sue you guys in civil court for violating my rights, raiding me. All right, and then like there'll be some type of settlement, and then the settlement will include dropping of the lawsuit, an American Fork at least. In Provo City, you might have like misconduct by the detective. I was watching BJC, and I think the detective is also involved in like a man's death. Because he wouldn't give him his medicine or something. I don't know. It's like something where like he's being associated with somebody dying, a prisoner.
The officers, and to challenge whether what they did was actually appropriate or not. So it's all going to be strong evidence that he would be able to use if and when he brings a civil suit against American Fork Police Department.
I do have some concerns in this case with the defendant representing himself. The allegations here relate to the fact that the defendant, he's a person he's a YouTuber, creates videos, publishes them online, and has been, if this defendant were to represent himself and we were to provide body cams and discovery, we would be now providing additional information and fodder for this defendant to create videos from which he could profit by placing them on YouTube.
So whether or not the defendant wants to take publicly available information and put it on YouTube really isn't a basis to deny discovery to the defendant. This is a criminal case. Reckless Ben has constitutional rights to confront his accusers. He has constitutional rights to see the evidence that is being used to charge him with crimes. The fact that he may then exercise his First Amendment right is...
Yeah, so I assume this is just like what I did. So it's kind of weird for me to review BB. So I would just tell you to instead watch his video. I'll continue to watch more of it, but it's kind of weird, like, because I just reviewed the video and now I'm watching BBQ review the video and I'm reviewing him reviewing the video. So I guess it's like a never-ending reaction cycle. Let's see. Let's skip forward ahead a little bit.
The problem that Bricks and Minifigs and their entire side has is there is not a single sympathetic or likable witness on their side at all. And all of their witnesses, except for maybe Brandon Best, who has not said very much publicly, they have all made multiple inconsistent statements. They've all made...
Yeah, the more Ammon talks, the more you dislike him. He's just not a likable person. I don't know how he ended up as CEO of the company. Like, I don't know, like, how a franchisee goes meets Ammon and it's like, yes, that's what I want to be part of. Sign me up for whatever this guy is helping, doing. I mean, he's just very unprofessional. His hands are always like this. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to engage. So imagine you're a franchise. I mean, their main business is to sign up these franchisees, right? That's how they make money. Now, they do have corporate stores, just like any good franchisor would. But, like, imagine meeting him and being like, oh, wow, this is 100% the guy I want to give my life savings to. This man right here. I don't know how these franchisees get, like, so, like, at some point in time, like, you do have to be like, there were a lot of red flags here, you stupid franchisee. Like, how did you not, like, could you imagine, like, the sales pitch from Ammon McNeff? It's so bad. Could you imagine, like, thinking, oh, this guy will be my boss, right? He'll be the overseer of my franchisee. The success of my small little business will depend on this man here. And then it's like, okay, here, now sign a 10-year contract. Why? Right? Why? Again, a very, very bizarre behavior for somebody who, so he's selling not a boat, but a item that is similarly priced as a boat. These are it's basically as a high ticket item. It's a Lego store. That's what he's selling you. Hey, buy my Lego store. I don't understand how any of these franchisees would be like, oh, wow, this is the dude. This is the dude. After like 5 minutes of talking to him, I'd be like, okay, so I don't want to buy this anymore. Goodbye. Like, from a business perspective of like, I have what, like 50 people want to like go into business to open a store. Everyone and their grandmom wants to open a Pokemon store. Okay. And like you talk to some of them. I talked to this one dude in Dallas and like he just no idea what was going on. And he was like, oh, well, without you, I'm still going to own a store. Okay, cool. So half a year later, or a year later, he was supposed to open like in 2026. I promise you there's no stores. I promise you like half the people you talk to about opening businesses, not half, 95% don't actually want to open a business. They just want to like take your money. So yeah, I don't know. Like you're a franchisee, you're looking to put your life savings or your retirement funds into a Lego store. You have to talk to oh, Savvy, we got you, Savvy. So this is Savvy Turtle. Shout out to Lust and the Echo Based Network fam. Last Relic, Sheldon, Reckless Ben for not ghosting me on YouTube and other streams, while the rest where I tap the shell ghost me everywhere except for their own streams. That's dirty to me and makes me feel like a commodity and not a friend. Yeah, like we said, Savvy, you don't need to donate more. You've donated enough for like a lifetime membership. Yeah, but shout out to Savvy. He is in chat. Lost Community will always be a special shell in the Turtle Kingdom Thank you for the time I got to spend with you. Top the shell, yeah. Shout out to Savvy. They even said that no, I guess we have to make this full. I don't know if anyone can read this. Our Saudi benefactor. I guess that's the level that he's at. He's at a different level. He doesn't get a Pokeball. He just gets like a Saudi Arabia reference. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, shout out Savvy.
Made statements to the police and to others that are of questionable accuracy or correctness. And all of that is going to just make you dislikable to a jury. And so they've got a huge problem going into the civil case because they're going to be extremely unlikable. Oh, juries don't tend to understand the real technical legal issues. But what juries are excellent at is sniffing out the bullshit.
Never happened.
But the CEO did not want to take the opportunity to do the right thing and instead instantly called the cops on us.
Hi there, I'm calling to report a crime.
So while he's purporting to have a good faith conversation with Reckless Ben, Ammon McNeff steps inside, calls the police, and lays a trap over someone who just wanted to have a conversation with him. This is what the jury in the civil case is going to pick up on. And when I said a few minutes ago, juries are really good at picking up BS, it's this kind of stuff. You can't be two-faced like this. And the problem Ammon McNeff has...
No, I don't think there is a life membership. I'm pretty sure there's not.
Throughout this video is he looks very dishonest, very two-faced. And he might put on a smile and turn on the charm for the police.
Yeah. Dude, the only people who like think Ammon is like trustworthy is the police. Could you imagine? Like, I'm just thinking of this myself. Like, you know, let's say like Ammon wants to like talk to me and he wants to like partner and then we want to build a Lego store together. Like, literally after like 5 minutes of talking to this dude, I'd be like, no, this guy's the vibes are not checking out. This guy's going to screw me, isn't he? He's going to take over my store, isn't he? Like, so the only people who think Ammon is like actually like worth believing and trusting is the police department. For whatever reason, Mormon Mafia or otherwise, nobody else like... So, I would give franchisees the benefit of the doubt. They're getting roasted right now. They're getting roasted right now on social media. When Part 3 came out, it was like... Then all the vitriol, all the anger, right, came out. We're gonna open Facebook now and take a look at some of this stuff. It's a lot of people are very angry right now at specific bricks and at their local bricks and minifigs. But like Papa Meat says, that's on Ammon McNeff, right? That's on Ammon McNeff. So obviously we don't support people going into these stores and physical altercations. But there is a belief, Papa Meat said it himself, and he himself believes this, that a negative review, you can leave a negative review, right? That's not going to be something that, like, you shouldn't be doing. Negative reviews are very impactful. Let's take a look at Papa Meat again. I call him Papa Meat, right? That's his channel's name. I think there's a large demographic.
The franchise.
In fact, I would say probably 80% of the people feel this way.
So infuriated hearing about how evil BAM is that they began harassing employees and review bombing locations that had nothing to do with the controversy, which is a shame. That doesn't mean that you should go into a store and like fucking actually physically hurt anybody or whatever. But if you're review bombing shit, I mean, it's fucking blame Ammon, dude. Blame your...
Yeah, so if you are review bombing and your reviews go from like 100% like you to 44%, blame Ammon. So like there is a demographic of people who are just review bombing. And I can tell you, it's like getting bad reviews kind of sucks, right? It kind of sucks, right?
How he is to the other people around him is going to tell a very different side of the story. All of this is going to come in during the trial. If there is a trial, all of this is going to come in. The jury's going to see this.
Still say, hey, you guys stole this product from this person. If you don't give it back, I'm going to burn the place down.
Reckless Ben, unless there's body cam footage.
Yeah, so again, I think there should be some penalty if you lie to the police, right? I think there should be some type of penalty if you lie to the police. It's kind of interesting, right? And then we'll talk about the SA cases or the alleged ape cases, right? Like the Duke lacrosse team and so on, where, you know, it turns out that they lied, or later on they said that they lied to the police. But many of their lives were at the time ruined, and again, you talk about like this, you're accusing somebody of saying he's going to set with the intention to do it. You're building on fire, or he's going to kill everybody. Well, like unless there's any evidence of this, like this sounds like something that Reckless Ben would not normally do. So why would he do this? Like, yeah, it's one of these bizarre things where, like, you can tell the police a lot of stuff. It is a crime. But do you think Ammon McNeff is going to get charged for that crime or no? So it is a crime, right? To lie to the police about a crime that doesn't exist. However, it rarely ever gets charged. It rarely ever gets charged. And certainly, we know from Ammon McNeff's very close relationship with the police department, probably not going to charge him.
Cam footage that's been hid from us. Reckless Ben never said he was going to burn the place down. He never said he was going to kill anyone. He had a polite conversation. Now, at times it looked like maybe their voices got elevated a bit because they're not, you know, it's a bit of an adversarial process. But these appear to be just straight lies. In my next live stream, I'm going to talk about some of this and what these apparent lies to the police, what kind of impact they'll have on the damages claim that Reckless Ben could bring against Ammon McNeff.
We're going to burn the place down, or I'll kill you. It's Ben Snyder who's been the one engaged in this behavior.
You know, he says here it's been Reckless Ben himself engaged in this behavior. It's a problem with that. In their complaint against Reckless Ben for civil RICO, the plaintiffs cite a number of documents, a number of emails that Ammon McNeff received. Not a single one of them is an email from Reckless Ben. It's all emails from just random people in the public. So he's telling the police here, Reckless is not a good idea. It is never a good idea to fight fire with fire when you're talking about it amicably. How can he say he doesn't know who Brian Mansell is while he's also saying that he's been trying to settle the dispute with Brian Mansell? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And all these inconsistencies are why this person will be a horrible witness. The jury will hate him. And
yeah, like the only person who believes them is apparently the police department, both of them. It's almost bizarre how this guy's able to operate any business at all. Because in business, your word is your word means a lot. And Ammon's always like flip-flopping and flip-flopping and flip-flopping and like, so I don't know, man. It's Mark Niemick with the $5. Savvy is a boss. Make sure you tap some shells at Legally Mime and the BAM map. Yes, Legally Mime is the website we went on that one day with all the lawyers. And of course, the BAM map is Rose. And I know both people are active on Discord. I've talked to both of them.
And I do not think they will let this case get to trial because they can't win the trial. I'm not talking even about the legal issues. You can't win a trial if a jury hates all of your witnesses.
He's a guy who had like $200,000 worth of like.
But let me ask you this. What if the jury's all Mormon? What if the jury is in Provo City or Utah County? So even though we are in federal court now, the jury pool will still be local. So the jury itself, in terms of like composition, the jury pool itself doesn't really change that much. So let me ask this question. Would a jury of Ammon McNeffs find Ammon McNeff guilty? No, they wouldn't. So this is why I think it's important to get out of Utah and go to Oregon. Like, the jury, we're still in Utah. So the two criminals, they're all in Utah, and even the civil lawsuit. So all three lawsuits that we know of are in Utah. Just because they moved to federal doesn't mean that your jury is different. Or your composition. I'm talking about composition, right? what was it? In Provo, 90% of people are Mormon. And in Utah County, I think it's like where American Fork is, I think it's like 85. So like, okay, well, maybe the jury does find Ammon, like, maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Ammon may not be just a good witness for the police, right? Believable to the police. Ammon may just be really good witness to, like, anyone who's Mormon. Think about this.
For the Legos in your guys' store?
Never happened.
Ammon was first trying. Here's another problem that I think Ammon McNeff has. We saw this also in the CoffeeZilla video. Ammon McNeff is very quick to say so definitively what did and didn't happen on certain things. Remember, he said there was no U-Haul. He was 100%. There was no U-Haul. It was a car that Brandon Best rented. He didn't rent a U-Haul.
But maybe Mormons like that type of stuff. Maybe Mormons like, wow, he's really dependable. I don't know. I'm not a Mormon, right? But maybe if you live in Utah County or Provo City, you're like, wow, this Ammon guy's so great. Look at him defend himself, and look at all the funny tactics he's using, and look at all his funny faces. Oh, this guy's definitely very trustworthy. I would definitely give him $600,000. Like, you understand, the jury is probably like all Ammons. You know? So, like, who are they going to believe? An Ammon or a Reckless Ben? An out-of-towner, if you will. Oh, thank you for the $4.99, Billy. Shout out to Billy from Refresh Toys in Bowling Green, Ohio. Ammon McNeff gives free mustache rides to the American Fork Police Department. Yeah, maybe, dude. Okay, what if this happened? So you're in jury selection, and then all the members you can select have mustaches like Ammon. Think about this. So you're trying to select channel. I guess movie. We'll finish it when we finish it. We'll finish up BBQ. We have a phone call here, and then we have Channel 5 being sued. Oh, and then we have the AFCOB Reckless, but that one's like 3 hours. I don't think we can get past that. Maybe we'll watch the video format where they kind of like, I guess, slice it down into the video. Oh yeah, but anyway, what if you went to jury selection, and then you look around, and everyone got that mustache? You know you effed. You know you're like, oh shit. So I can pick between Ammon 1 and Ammon 10. And it's like, oh my God, right? What did Billy do? Oof, gross picture. Okay. I don't.
Statements of his subordinates and just run with it. And the problem with the adversarial process is all of your definitive statements that you think are 100% true, all of them will get tested. All of the ones that are false are going to be proven false because there's evidence showing that. That's a totally additional and independent reason why any liability owed to Brian Mansell in the form of Lego bricks that need to be returned or money that need to be paid to him, all of that became corporates as soon as this happened, as soon as they took over the store.
You sent a bunch of pictures of the Lego still in the back, and you can see in the security camera footage, corporate comes and throws her out.
Great. I understand what you're talking about.
I don't know what Billy's talking about. Like, maybe I misunderstand what this is. Ammon McNeff gives free mustache rides to the American Fork Police Department. A lot of you find it very funny, but I don't know what that means.
But you have a misunderstanding of what...
I thought he didn't know who Brian Mansell was. I thought he didn't know what the Brian Mansell Lego collection was. How does he have accepted a narrative that isn't real?
And you are continuing to pursue that narrative because it's easy and it gives you views and it gives you all sorts of...
Everything he's saying right now applies to him. It's easy to accept what Josh Johnson and Brandon Best have told you. It's easy to accept that they're saying Crystal Law stole the Legos because those are his friends.
Crystal Law was a former franchisee of Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
She took Mr. Mansell's Lego?
Yet another contradiction. Mr. Mansell? Who is that? Oh, she's the one that took Mr. Mansell's Legos. It's just lie after lie after lie with this guy. He has horrible credibility.
Sold it, didn't pay him, she has his money.
But
she sold his...
I mean, I think there's a grain of truth here. She did sell the Lego. She didn't pay him. The problem here is that corporate showed up and took over the store before she could pay him. So yeah, she hadn't paid him all the money she owed him because corporate came.
Look at how big his eye. Like, look at wow. I think Ammon would do good if there was like a jury of Ammons, right? They would never convict another Mormon, right? Right.
Corporate came in and kicked her out. And so at that point, it became.
Oh, it's okay. It's a movie. Okay, I got it, Billy. It's a reference to a movie. Got it.
Became corporate's obligation to pay him what was owed to him, not hers. That's not how this works.
However, if you lie about a crime the way Ammon's lying to me right now, then that's not just morally wrong anymore. That crosses into new territory called illegal. The specific crime is called obstruction. If someone commits this crime, they can get arrested.
New franchisees. Not true. The reason why it's not true is that before Brandon Best and Josh Johnson became the quote unquote new franchisees, there was a period of time where corporate had taken over the store. Even if that period of time was only a couple days, corporate still took over the store. The liability went to corporate.
Is that Matthew McNeff? I just realized this. This is Matt. Isn't this Matt McNeff? This is the brother. I've never seen a business that has like 300 stores, like have their like executive teams talk to like random people. I don't. That's just not what I see. You know, like in these Fortune like 500 companies, like you can never talk to the COO of McDonald's or the CEO. And I think Bricks and Minifigs is a large company. It has 300 franchises. Like it would be like the Quiznos. Like if the Quiznos CEO ran out to talk to you, you wouldn't. That's why I think Reckless Ben didn't realize who Ammon was. He in terms of like who the CEO, that he was a CEO, because it never like dawns on you that wait, the CEO is gonna take time out of his day to talk to you directly. Yeah. It's very funny. Yeah, it's very funny.
The reason why it's not true is that before Brandon Best and Josh Johnson became the quote unquote new franchisees, there was a period of time where corporate document is because they know the document's really bad for them. But here's the newsflash. Once again, Ammon McNeff has stated that the inventory exists. He offers to give it to Reckless Ben, even though he doesn't give it to him. So we know it exists. There's a civil suit. There's a process called discovery, and 100% Reckless Ben's side and Brian Mansell's side are going to ask for that inventory. So they're going to get it through discovery. All this fighting is for nothing. They should have just been cooperative with Brian Mansell from the beginning.
Ice cream machine. That's so-and-so said so. All of your ice cream machines belong to me. Why? Because so-and-so said so. Why? And I have a spreadsheet that says all these ice cream machines. That's not proof of ownership. That's not proof of anything.
Whether it's proof of ownership will be up to a jury. What it is evidence. That
I did right when I heard about this entire situation was I Googled Bricks and Minifigs.
Priority right now is to ensure that he gets made whole. We know that we have a responsibility to work with him.
They here say they acknowledge they have a responsibility. That's just yet another statement that shows they understand the liability really is on them.
What happened to his little Lego setup of the Muppets? This is before or after? I don't see as many Legos here. He's removed all the Legos for Fox Zone.
Statement that gets used over and over and over in the trial. That might be clip number one.
Yeah, where did his Legos go? Doesn't he have like a bunch of Muppet Legos here, and then like a Build-A-Bear or something, Build-A-Lego, a brick Lego or something?
Understand we have a responsibility. Did they comply with that responsibility? No. Instead, they sued Brian Mansell and Reckless Ben for over $1 million.
So right when this happened, Brian hired an attorney to reach out to Bricks and Minifigs. They sent an email saying, how should we proceed to retake the possession of the set/minifigures? And they actually emailed back saying they were willing to help. And then after this, they just never respond. So Brian's attorney sent them another email, just following up on this, when can we pick up the sets? And they still didn't respond.
This is just more evidence it's going to complete.
Yeah, it's here. It's here. There.
Trying to work with it to become relevant.
Look, he's here now, the Muppets. It's back. Wow. So depending on who he interviews with, he'll have like a different background. That seems kind of manipulative.
All of it comes into evidence. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Once they file those counterclaims, I expect those counterclaims to be very verbose and to just annihilate Bricks and Minifigs' credibility and just blow apart all their statements as just lies. And the counterclaims will be public. They'll be filed publicly. Everyone will be able to see it. Everyone will hear and read what the responses to all of this silliness is.
So Billy makes a good point. This does unfortunately go back to Crystal's horrible bookkeeping that keeps these idiots out and deniability. So I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to really catch them on something because they can always blame Crystal Law, and that's their strategy. So they hired all these experts, all their PR, all the Denton law firm, and so on. And the final strategy seems to be it's Crystal Law's fault for not keeping the books clean. And we didn't know, we didn't have the intent. Again, it's really hard to like pin them down if the books are not like, cause again, they're going to say, oh, we didn't know. That was not their initial reaction to Brian Menzel. Was basically, oh, well, Josh and Brandon have the store and they own it now. Goodbye. It's a very different. So I do think some of this is really dependent on the bookkeeping was not good. Could it be better? Yes, it could be better. Is it going to give enough wiggle room to Bricks and Minifigs to be like, oh, well, you see, it wasn't our fault? Who knows? But yeah, as a result, you probably have a scenario where there's a little bit more wiggle room than there should be.
I expect after those counterclaims get filed, I think this case gets settled fairly quickly because Bricks and Minifigs' credibility will just be so badly tarnished that they will need to extricate themselves from the lawsuit as quickly as possible.
There is no theft. Do you understand the legal definition of theft?
Right.
Ammon and McNeff,
So Ammon McNeff is trying to make this argument that he cannot, there's no theft under the law because he didn't know that these Legos were not his.
You understand the legal definition of conversion. That's what lawyers call theft. When you take someone else's property and you maintain it as your own and hold it out to the world as your own when it is not, and maybe you sell it, maybe you otherwise dispose of it, that's called conversion. And that's something that you took on when you took over the store in the dead of night, when corporation took the store from Crystal Law, corporate converted Mr. Menzel's property. So
I think like this is something that me and Billy agree with. That's something Crystal and Ben Gorman are not going to agree with. I think if a collection comes to you and you know that there's a better place for it, it's your duty to tell them, hey, you know what? I'll put you in contact with this giant YouTuber. His name is M&R Productions, and he'll pay you in cash more than I can pay you in consignment. So it really depends on like what it is, right? So like if the consignment deal is 65% consignment and M&R is going to pay 70%, then you just have to find him. Then I would just say, hey, you know, Brian, we really want to help you. The other point I want to make it clear, let me make it very clear to you, that the idea that like Crystal wanted to help the community and that's why she did layaway and she did all that stuff. I think I have like a pretty, I was talking to my friend. He still owns a card shop in Houston. And we're talking about like ethics and what happens. Like we were talking about the store that did the consignment of Magic cards and they just ran. They ran away. So they did consignment. They took lots of consignment. And then one night, they just disappeared. Store closed. No one could find them. I believe the woman, it was a husband and a wife. I believe the wife moved to Colorado. And I believe the husband was like gone. He was just gone. Right? You never want to see that happen in consignment. I mean, like, let me tell you like another story about this guy who sold Rolexes. And it was a consignment. It was a consignment Rolex business, and now he's in jail Do you think he wanted to go to jail? No, he didn't want to go to jail. But the consignment got so out of hand because he was robbing Peter to pay Paul. He is 70 months in jail. Because eventually the consignment got up to $5.6 million that owed. And he just didn't have it, right? No, we're talking about consignment. So, like, I think when I think about this case, the community stuff, like, I like that. I like that. That explains it. But it doesn't help. It does not help Brian Menzel that his collection is on layaway. It does not help Brian Menzel that the collection takes so long to sell. When you could contact M&R Production, and he can sell, like, according to him, M&R Production, he can sell in 2 days at 70, and he'll pay you up front 70%. So, like, my struggle here is really, like, remember, they didn't want, so another thing about this is very interesting. Ben Gorman, he doesn't want to be part of this Lego store anymore. So why does the community matter to Ben Gorman? He wanted to move to Spain. He wanted to move his entire family to Spain to write books. Right? To do so, they had to then tell corporate, hey, we're selling. So, you know, like, so Ben is not really like, oh, we got to build this Lego store for our community and we have to make sure everyone's taken care of and all of this stuff, right? So it's interesting. Yes, Symphonia, I'm talking about what is actually best for Brian Menzel. I'm not talking about what is best for the store. So I'm strictly talking about what is best for Brian Menzel. And consignment was not it, right? For multitude of reasons, right? Crystal and Ben enjoy leveling responsibility to make things right at the feet of corporate after they went out of business, but they were treating Menzel right. So I would say if I had a client like Brian Menzel and I couldn't buy the entire collection because I didn't have the cash, I would still I personally would refuse consignment. Even if Brian wants to consign it, I would say, no, Brian, what I'm going to do is you're going to give me a week. I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to make a few phone calls. I'm going to advertise the collection to my Facebook on Umu. And because my Facebook is large, my Umu Facebook is large, active, and they're always trying to buy shit from me, there's probably 1 or 2 people there who actually can eat this collection. I'll reach out to my other Pokemon YouTube friends. I'll go to Collecticon, like, you know, like, but Symphonia, that does not help Brian Menzel. Like none of that helps Brian. Like, I understand but what she wants has nothing to do with like helping Brian Menzel, right? Like, if she could, she would just not, you know, just market it the whole time. Like if you want to take it a very draconic look at it, you know, like, hey, this guy is giving me a collection. It doesn't cost me interest. I'm better off not selling it right now. So I'm actually better off not selling it because it is basically an interest-free loan on merchandise. If I had to get this merchandise from somewhere else, they're going to charge me at least interest on it. Let me repeat that again. If I have to buy this merchandise, I'm going to either have to pay for full or they're going to charge interest on it, right? And here's kind of like what I say about like motivation to sell. Like consignment, you're not really motivated to sell because if you had two, let me make it obvious, right? If you have 2 identical Pokemon cards, one is consignment, you get 35% if you sell, and one is like, you know, you bought it at 6% from like a teenager. So if you had two identical things. Now, let me show you. Let me see if I can bring out something more obvious. Yes. If I had two identical cards, and one is on consignment and one is not, and they're both priced at the same price, if a customer comes in and, hey, I'm looking for Lily PSA 9, do you have it? I said, yes, I have it. Here you go. Which one am I going to sell you if I want to make the maximal amount of money? Am I going to sell you the one on consignment where I have an interest-free unlimited loan until it expires? Or am I going to sell you mine, the stores? If I want to maximize my profit, I'm going to sell, if I had two of the exact same items, I'm not saying this is what happened in the Lego store, but I'm saying like in consignment, right? I wouldn't sell yours. If what I want to do is maximize inventory, I wouldn't sell yours. I would sell mine and then keep yours under, because yours is an interest-free loan. Mine, I have cash flow, right? Billy says $4.99, $200,000 inventory infusion that you only need to pay out 65% on every 90 days or longer. If on layaway, BAM needs to make it right, though, obviously. So, like, again, this, like, from the perspective, so I had this talk, you know, and then Billy and I can have this talk too, like, right? We can have the talk via chat or in person. It would be the same discussion. Is like, if a customer comes to you with something that you cannot buy, but you know is really valuable, right? You know is really, really valuable, right? I would just tell the customer to go down the street. Yeah, it hurts me, but I don't want to, I never want to take consignment. I never want to do layaway. And at the end of the day, like, no, you got to do right by the customer. It's still somebody who came to you looking for help because they think that you know what to, bricks and minifigs. They think they're going to help you. What my favorite thing? They think that you're coming here to help, right?
So to recap, store number 1 offered us in cash 18% of the true value of our figures. Store number 2 offered 6%, store number 3 offered 19%, and store number 4 offered 10%. Also, this video isn't meant to...
But the people going to bricks and minifigs, just like this guy, they're kind of trusting them, right? They're kind of trusting them, right? Yeah, again, yeah, I mean, let's do layaway. Let's do an example. That's a good example, actually, Javier. Or not Blink Sim. So you have two layaway, right? You have two layaway, right? I have my store version of it, and then I have your version. If a customer wants to do layaway, should I put my version? Because it kills my cash flow. Remember, it's about, this entire business is about cash flow. Or should I put your version on layaway? Well, obviously, I'm going to put yours. Because it's a no interest loan. And I'm going to sell mine into the store. Or, for instance, I have two of the same item. I don't want to display both of them. Okay? Which one am I going to display? Your item? Or your consignment, or my item? Remember, when I sell your item, I only get 35% of the value, right? We can talk about profit and so on later, but whatever. If I sell my item, I get 100% of the cash flow to put back into the business. So this is why I think the consignment doesn't make sense for Pokemon cards. It doesn't make sense for Magic cards, right? It doesn't make sense. And again, in the Lego item, right? Like, you know, like, just bricks and minifigs just absolutely, like, kind of suck. Their whole franchise model, lowballing and all doing this, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Their margins are too thin. They're paying way too much to corporate. Like it's a situation where I think. So I will post this thing to Billy. If a collection that is too big, a beautiful collection, vintage, what we have some here. I got these recently. Yeah, so shout out to Jules. If a vintage collection comes and, it's a very beautiful vintage collection and you're just like thinking, wow, this is amazing. So I'm keeping this for my kid. So for me, it's a little bit different. But yeah, this is a first edition Dragon Knight, which is my daughter is born in the year of the dragon, and she has a binder of Dragon Knight. If the collection is too expensive for me to buy, but it's a beautiful collection, and this might happen. Do I lowball? Do I buy some of it? Do I consign it? Like, what am I going to do with it? I think I would just tell them, hey, I'm going to help you try to sell that. I'm going to reach out to my contacts and see what they say. And if I do sell it for you, so as a business, I still need to make money. So right now, my offer is 65% consignment. So Crystal says, my offer is 65% consignment. I don't think consignment's going to work for your dad. It may take too much time. We might have to do layaway. There's a lot of complications going on here. So instead, what I'm going to do is, we're going to try to find you a buyer at above 65%. And if I can find you a buyer at 70%, could you pay me the 5% as a finder fee? And then maybe we sign a contract like that, right? I think that's fair, right? Because I'm doing the work to hook you up. I'm doing the work, which, again, because I own a physical store, I know who the Lego collectors are. I know who the Magic collectors are. I know how all the things are, right? So I would always say, like, hey, if I cannot buy the collection, these are the options that you can take, and I'll make phone calls for you. But if the collection goes for more than what you would be willing to take today with me, so if somebody walks in and says, okay, I would take 65% consignment for my collection, I would say, okay, well, hold on there. Let me try to find you a buyer. Let me call a few of my customers. Let me call a few other stores. Maybe we go halvesies. Maybe we buy something else, right? But I think that's the right way to deal with it. I don't think the consignment, right, is the necessarily the best way to deal with it, right? Or auction house, yeah, you guys are right. Maybe it goes to auction house, right? Heritage auctions. Yeah, I'm glad that you had fun, Jules. We had fun. Me and my wife had fun meeting you guys here. But like you can't take it. Well, my opinion is Crystal should not have took it. Now, what happens later? Like yeah, 100% corporate. 100% corporate. But like to take that much consignment on is I think we can all agree it's risky. But the risk is not on Crystal. The risk is fully on Brian Menzel. Things get stolen, right? We hear that all the time. Things go missing all the time. And my other concern, and Billy's right, my other concern is it took a long time to sell very few Legos. Yeah, Billy says, at the end of the day, it took Crystal 1.5 years to barely sell a fraction of the collection. That should take a month to liquidate. What service did she provide? Again, it shouldn't take that long to sell something that is that desirable. Yeah, it's a very desirable thing, guys. Like, we're talking about, like, yeah, maybe go halvesies with this guy called Brandon Best. I'm sure that'll turn out. But, like, pay him in cash. Like, we had M&R like in chat, like, and he was just like, I moved it in like 4 hours. I moved it. Yeah, I mean, Billy's saying he pays 70 to 80% because he doesn't have the corporate, 10%, right? Like, so like, what I'm suggesting isn't any like distress on Crystal. It's not like, oh, well, see, no. What I'm saying is like, I will personally, right? Stella, if you can't sell it, then don't take it. I disagree with you how quickly it could sell. Some of those sets are very, very expensive. I can sell them like this. I can post each of them on Umu with a price, and I bet you by tonight they'll be gone. I could post it on my Facebook page, which is incredibly active. Yeah, so Stella doesn't understand this because he doesn't actually know Legos, Billy. Magic the Gathering, you know what sells? Black Lotuses, Dual Lands. You know what doesn't sell? The $1 to $5 cards. They never sell. The Black Lotus, that's gone tomorrow. If I posted a Black Lotus under market price today, I guarantee you it's gone. If I posted that Dragon Knight under market price, I bet you it is gone. Yeah, if you posted a Cloud City 15% under market, done. So like people have no idea what the hell they're saying. You know what doesn't sell? It's the $1 to $2, $5 cards. They never sell in Pokemon. They just sit in a binder for years and years and years. They will never sell. A $5 Pokemon card, like, God forbid a customer comes in. It's not some type of EV or something like that. If you don't have the time, don't take the collection. If you don't have the customer base, don't take the collection, right? Yeah, we can liquidate the thing in live. We could liquidate it today, right? We'd be like, okay, you know what I would do? I'd just make one phone call to M&R and say, hey, you took the other stuff at 70. Do you want to do 70? Unless it's Pikachu. Yes, $1 Pikachu will sell, or EV or some popular, but a $1 like a 15 cents Wigglypuff is not going to sell, guys. It's just going to sit there, and that's why my kid like destroys so many of these cards, because it does not sell, right? And at the end of the day, you don't have the space to sell a bunch of Wigglytuffs, right? That's just like a first edition. I think I have a first ed Wigglytuff actually. That's what I'm saying is like, I do not think she did a good job selling it. That's my assessment as to like what actually like. I have a first ed Wigglytuff here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. Oh, here, this is a cool one. This is the other big one in the collection that I got from Jules, which my wife really, really loves. The first ed Snorlax. We got some really cool ones. These are impossible to grade. You're never going to get a 10. Hard to get a 9 on them because the foil is like really tough. Okay, let's continue on with what else. Okay, BBQ. Shout out to BBQ who'll be on live stream. No, I don't think Crystal will be offended. I think Crystal's very honest and very sincere. I'm just saying like that like I had this conversation with another person who owns a store, and we both agreed that the best thing we could do for our store and the customer and the community was make a phone call to like M&R, right? Right, M&R, right? And we just say, hey, M&R, I want to take, this is a $200,000 collection. I want to take $50,000. My friend wants to take $25,000. We don't want to cherry pick this without you. We'll, figure out which sets you want, which sets you don't, which sets we want, which sets we don't. Can you take the other 100,000 plus? We make a simple phone call like that, and then it would be done. Yeah, she likes the collection. Yeah, she likes the collection a lot. It's the cards are in really good shape for their age, which is. Billy says she openly said that they don't sell on eBay because the market is too inflated, too many buyers, and they want these sets to go to community. Big heart, yeah. This weekend I'm supposed to make progress. So like, this weekend is this whole week I've been like super busy with Pokemon Go with the wife. So do you know how I met my wife, right? We met playing Pokemon Go. So it means a lot to us. So this is Go Fast, and like we spend. Oh yes, we have stickers. Thank you. We should have signed some of these stickers. I think that would be kind of cool, like signed stickers and whatnot, right? Kind of like this. The signed Nicholas De Oreo, Billy Mitchell. Right? That's cool. It's it adds something really cool to the item, right? Yeah, we can still do that with stickers. Yeah, it's just, we've been really busy with Pokemon Go. We actually met. Yeah, we should. I should have. We actually met playing Pokemon Go Fennekin Day. So like Pokemon Go has been like such a big part of our lives. And like every like major date we went to, like New York City. So I graduated NYU. So going back to New York City is like a lot of fun to see all my friends again from college. But we went there for Shadow Meet. We went there for like every single like Pokemon Go event until like she got pregnant. Then we had our kid. We didn't have daycare until the kid was over a year old. We did have like a part-time nanny, but the part-time nanny was like, she was okay, but like, it's still tough, right?
So that's your legal definition, Ammon McNeff.
Legally.
Okay, so Helvey, so this is something I would also contest. If you keep all those Legos in your community, that still doesn't help Brian Menzel, right? Right? Brian Menzel is trying to sell these Legos to raise money for his dad. So yes, it is a W for Crystal, it's a W for the community, but it's not a W for Brian Menzel. At the very least, it is a break even, right? Right. So when you are in consignment, I think this is where we differ in opinion. If I owe you money, or I'm consignment, I owe you, I'm the debtor, right? I've given you you've given me an interest-free loan. It's my duty to move the items as fast as I can, at a reasonable price as I can, right? Not for a year and a half, guys. Not for 2 years. So, again, even if Brian and his dad wanted to be part of the community, I don't think they actually agreed to layaway. I don't think they would agree to layaway. His dad said he wanted it in the community, and that's why they didn't go online. Well, like my response in that, my response to you there is the layaway part honestly doesn't help the community. So because some people want this set and that set and this set and this, like people who save money, who actually have the money to buy it, right? Yeah, so let me tell you what happens in Pokemon. If I sell for under market price, what people are going to do is they're going to come in my store, they're going to buy out everything, they're going to lay away everything, and then they're going to sell out on eBay. You guys have this idea of community. Community is not one person layawaying 10 items. That's not community, guys. Community is like, I have one set that is my holy grail. Can you lay away me one set? Community is not a guy layawaying 10 different Lego sets, guys. That guy is a flipper. If I had layaway, which I never had, and the guy comes in and he picks 10 boxes of Pokemon, 10 different boxes of Pokemon, and he says, I'm going to put all these on layaway. That guy is not good for our community. What this guy is trying to do is he's trying to game the system. This is anti-community behavior to do 10 different... Guys, if it was about community, why the hell is he allowing somebody to do 10 layaways? And there was another guy with 8 layaways. Who do you think needs 10 layaways? The community. Really? Really? Guys, just let's think about it, guys. Let's think about it. Just think about it. No, the layaway for the 10 young kid, it was like $500 a set. He would be 18 before he could pay. I'll get, the young kid is just told by his dad to lay away the items. He has no idea of the vintage. If you're saying it's a young kid, right? They should not be layawaying 10 items. This is very irresponsible to teach young kids. Guys, please stop saying it's a young kid layawaying 10 items. There's no way in hell that's correct. There's no way in hell a young kid is layawaying 10 where he doesn't have an income. How is he going to pay for these 10 items? Right? Again, we can talk about community. Her definition of community may be different than my definition of community. Like, we might have different opinions on the marketing and so on and so forth. But I can tell you, as somebody who's run a business, talking to a person, even kids, do you want to see these kids who are like 15 years old and they are flipping like $10,000 sports cards? Because I can show you where they are. They're in Dallas. These kids are major flippers. No, we would never do layaway for anything. We would never do layaway for Pokemon because Pokemon changes the price like this. So we layawayed this card. The price could go up or down, right? No, I think I'm done anyway. Like, at the end of the day, I know that they're trolling me because they couldn't logically, they just couldn't possibly think this, right? Either they're very stupid or they have no idea how any of this works.
Okay, y'all have asked.
Oh, there's Crystal. In the state of Oregon, by the way, in the state of Oregon, if you do layaway and you end up not wanting to buy the item, you can just get a full refund by law. So out of all the places that you can do layaways, the state of Oregon is probably one of the worst places to do layaway. Because you don't even get, the deposit. You have to give 100% of deposit and any payments back according to the Oregon law.
For the full Kai phone call footage, so here you go.
Hey, this is Kai.
Hi, this is Crystal. You're on speaker. I'm here with Ben.
Yeah, this is Ben. So I am. This whole thing is taking me completely by surprise. So explain to me what is going on from your perspective, because I'm wondering if there's been a miscommunication or if I'm just not understanding.
Yeah, and I totally appreciate you asking, Ben. It's good to talk to you. I've never talked to you before, so I apologize for that. But so I'm Kai, Director of Operations, as I said.
Dude, this guy is so young, and he's been part of Bricks and Minifigs for 4 years. Dude, he's like right out of college or something.
So earlier today, we had so from our perspective, so Crystal did reach out to us and talk about you guys moving out of the country and wanted to know what.
Okay, so let me explain that. How's moving out of the country good for the community, right? No, Paranoia Print, explain to me how moving out of the country, giving the bricks and minifigs to Josh Johnson and Brandon Best to run. How everyone talks about their community. I can tell you, nobody gives a shit about community. At the end of the day, it's price. Like I'm going to go full honest on you guys. The community is good when it's good. Okay? When it's bad, it won't be there for you. When Pokemon is hot, you can talk about community all you want, right? But you're still charging market price. Because as soon as you don't charge market price, one scalper is all it takes, will come there and they'll buy your entire inventory, right? And that's the end of that, right? So community is, they want to sell. I've never heard they want to sell the store to their cousin. What cousin? Yeah, it is. If you ever actually, buy or trade Magic or it's, the community is going to support you when your prices are good. When you actually need the community to support you, they're gone. And that's why every Pokemon scammer for the community, right? Do you know how many Pokemon scammers always talk about community? The more people talk about community, in Pokemon, the bigger the scammer they are. The biggest scammers in Pokemon Magic are people who just talk about community nonstop, right? I love this community, Pokemon community. And then they scam and run away with the money. I can give you a list of 20 people. 20 people. You know who talks about community the most? Logan Paul, baby. Logan Paul all talks about community. Oh, good Logan. Dude, he's the biggest scammer, alleged scammer of them all. I'm telling you straight up. People who tell you the people who you think care about the community, they're always the first rats off the boat. The more they talk about, the people who actually care about the community never talk about the community. Okay? They just do nice things that never become public. Right? That's the reality, okay? That is the reality, okay?
What would need to happen before then. And so what we did is we sat down on our end and we looked at the
Let me tell you a little bit about the Lego community I learned from Last Relic. When Last Relic was getting taken over, and his thing is very severe, right? His thing is incredibly severe, right? And he asked a bunch of Lego people to help him, Lego influencers who work with bricks and minifigs. They all said no. And one person tried to charge him $1,500 to make the video, right? So think about this. Let's use our brain a little bit. What kind of community is that? Right? When you are at your weakest and when you are at your lowest, not a single person wants to reach out and help, right? I think the reason Crystal and Brian Menzel obviously is Reckless Ben. The difference between Last Relic was there was no Reckless Ben in that case. And the difference between Crystal is Reckless Ben, right? I mean, Last Relic got screwed over just as hard, in my opinion, as Crystal. Right? When he shared his story, it was almost identical. Billy says, I'm willing to debate anyone on the subjects of the ethics of this consignment situation. I don't think it's trolling. I see this sentiment everywhere. I don't think it's trolling. I think it's people actually don't understand because they never owned a business before. So they're thinking of employees, right? Employees, right? Okay, Paranoia Print, okay, so Brian, dad want to help the local community. Where the hell's the local community for Brian's dad? Why didn't they come out and buy it? Why didn't they tell other people to buy? Why did it just sit there for a year and a half, right? Like, I don't understand. Like, we talking about what's the population of Salem? Sometimes the community gotta help you, right? You help the community. Sometimes, so we have 18, let's round to 200,000 people, okay? Okay, metropolitan, okay, so there's like there's some amount of people. It can't just be community when I feel like it, and then not community when I don't, right? No, Rainbow Shams. He got 450 from a different community. Because I can prove it to you. The 450 came after Reckless Ben got involved. Not before. It's the timeline. You're messing up the timeline, guys. The Lego community in Salem, Oregon wasn't even able to pay Brian that much. What did Brian get from Crystal? 17,000, 19,000 total? That was the payout? Over a year and a half? Yeah, so like, you know, like we're talking about mother effing Lego sets here. Legos are it's not only a fungible item, but they're also a discretionary item. You don't need them to survive, guys. You don't need them to survive, okay? Nobody needs to eat Legos or have Legos to play with. And especially, you don't need a $10,000 Cloud City. No one needs them. And here's the point I'm going to tell you, right? Here is the point I'm going to tell you. Yeah, the Lego community ran like this. Until it became convenient not to, right? Legos are toys, guys. You don't need a $10,000 toy. They're discretionary items, right? Like, why do you need Legos? Like, and why do you need a vintage, retired Star Wars, extremely expensive Lego set? Right? Like, what does anyone really need this stuff? Like, let me be honest, they're toys. This entire time, we've been talking about toys. There are people starving right now for food. There are people without homes. That's the community. That's helping the community, right? So, like, again, we can nick now. If I want to go full, like, destruction mode, I could. But I'm being very kind to Crystal. So I don't want to, I don't want to, like, take away if they do want the community to have it. Oh, thank you, Sheep Animation, $2. I don't want to, like, say, like, she didn't believe. I think she believes it, right? Yes, how arrogant. The children in my community need to buy a $10,000 Lego set. Guys, children want to buy... Okay, so children want to buy vintage Lego sets they're not even going to open. Let me repeat this again. These Lego sets are not going to be open. The idea that all these children are helping the children. No. These Lego sets are going to go to 40-year-old guys who are going to stick them in a closet just like me. How many children do you think are buying these vintage Lego sets, right, to open? Because they can buy a used set if they wanted to play with... If they wanted to play with them, because they're children, and children should want to play with them, wouldn't they be better off paying 20% for a used set? Why are these children wanting to buy new in-box sets? Right? It don't make any sense. These are adults buying them. Okay? Adults. The whole layaway thing, like Paranoid Princess, I don't know if I'm just going to ban you because like I don't think I explained it to 1,000 times. Crystal said there's multiple, so layaway didn't even matter anyway. Oh, you got me! You got me! Nah, you don't! Because you could give those duplicates to M&R, and he'll sell them like this. If you have duplicates, why did you take them? Let's use our brain. Oh, they were duplicates, so layaway doesn't matter. Wait, did something happen where a guy bought all the duplicates and sold them in 4 hours? Why wouldn't you then contact M&R and say, hey, we have a bunch of duplicates. We can't sell them. We're doing layaway. Oh, I got you, bro. Boom, gone. 4 hours. What the hell's wrong with you people? No, seriously, what is wrong with you people? Do you not have an inkling of common sense? Oh, layaway, doesn't matter. They were duplicates. God damn, man. Was there a garage of duplicates that somebody could sell? There literally was a storage of duplicates M&R went to look at, and he sold it in 4 hours. You telling me Crystal couldn't do that? You telling me Crystal just had to hoard all the duplicates? Motherfucker, if I have 20 of this card and I can't even sell one of them, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Ho ho. Doesn't matter. It's a consignment. What the hell are you smoking, man? If I had 20 of these cards and I can't even sell one of them, I should just put all of them in layaway? And that's, oh, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, I ran this business, man. I can tell you shit I haven't told you that would break down everything these idiots are saying online. Guys, let's use our brains here, okay? What happened to the duplicate sets in storage? Oh, a guy came in and he sold them all. Wait, what? You're saying that, like, multiple people can sell multiple sets? You mean, like, if I have 100 duplicates of the same thing, what I should be doing is hoarding them all? If I cannot sell a single one of them? Guys, it is so illogical to defend this position. Because I can rip it apart over and over and over again, right? This whole argument, oh, well, you have duplicates. That's cool. Let's put them on layaway. But we're not getting paid for layaway. God, it's so dumb. Oh, these duplicates, they didn't matter anyway. If I had 10 Charizard First Edition duplicates that for whatever reason I couldn't sell, yes, I would post it online. Yes, I would reach out to other people who could sell them. Yes, we would sell everything within like a day. Oh, okay, here. I literally just fell to my knees in he's at Home Depot. Yeah, Billy's reconstructing his new store. I think Billy will 100% agree with me. Because someone finally had the balls to call all the pre-takeout over aspect of their business amazing. Yes. Yes, I finally said it because, like, you guys just kept making excuses after excuses after excuses. Ah, duplicates. Who cares about duplicates? Haha, we'll lay away. God damn, dude. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to make a point. I'm trying to, work myself up. Don't sweat it. You are 100% correct. This is brain damage from leaving children at home from COVID-19. They obviously never ran a business. Yeah. Like, could you imagine the same item, let's say like 100 of the same item on consignment, and you can't even sell one of them? But that's okay because it's the same item. God, there's no justification for layaway, guys, that I can think of that would make sense. That would help Brian Menzel, right? I'm Brian Menzel. I have duplicate Lego figures. I would like you to sell all the duplicates as fast as you can, not one by one, and then putting everything else into layaway. My point is you doing what's right is what is good for business. That's my point. My point is doing what is right is good for business. Please, please do not ever do consignment. You will end up.
We looked at the relationship that we have with you guys and where all the outstanding balances and everything, where we're currently sitting. And I'm not quoting exact numbers, but we're about $50,000 left on the original purchase of the store. And then we're about $25,000 behind on royalties.
Yes, because M&R Productions in 4 hours was able to sell as much as or more than Crystal did in like a year and a half, right? Well, it doesn't matter in Oregon. Layaway, you have to refund the whole money anyway. So it doesn't matter in Oregon. They get all their money back.
And then the lease is technically in our name still, which I don't know.
Yeah, so those pay programs where you pay in like 4, you divide by 5, right? They charge you a lot of interest. That's how they make money. And they hope that you don't actually pay them. But in layaway, there's no interest, right?
Know the whole situation that went into that either way. We're held liable for the lease, the rent that has been missing, and there's been some late fees tacked on that. And I think the total of that comes to around $25,000 that we had to take on, because the landlord reached out and was like, "Look, I'm going to terminate this. I can't do this anymore." Which, from what it sounds like, he was bad at communicating with you, and to be fair, he's been bad at. He hasn't been the best at communicating with us, so I'm not saying that is completely on your guys' shoulders either. Either way, what we were looking at is about $100,000 in franchise terms with the terms with everything. It would be $100,000 in damages. And looking at that, and then looking at the store and the possibility of you guys selling it and all those sorts of stuff. What we came to the conclusion is the best thing for you guys would be just to have a termination of the franchise agreement, clean slate. You guys walk away, we walk away. We don't go after you for any of the damages or anything like that. It's us accepting that you guys did you guys did the work, kept the store open. You guys should pat yourselves on the back for that.
Oh, free labor. Yeah, you guys work for free. You kept the store open. Thank you. You built up the community. Goodbye.
And we'll accept that we're not going to get that $100,000. We're just going to walk clean slate. And then Brandon...
Oh, so generous. They're going to forgive the $100,000 of... $100,000 of whatever they accounting. So generous.
It took over the Eugene store, and we talked to him and see if he would be willing to take over operations of this store, just so that way we could solve everything. And when we jumped on
yeah, risk exciting. Yes, you guys did good. You did the work. You did the work. Oh God.
Today with Crystal. We talked that over, and I will acknowledge that it seems like the message wasn't quite got across that we were trying to convey. I apologize for that. But we did convey that there was going to be a termination and that Brandon was going to come over today to take over the store. And that's kind of where we're sitting. There should be.
Yeah, I always said that once they take over the store, it is their responsibility, okay? So they took over the store. Yeah, great job finding the rare Lego sets for us. I think the Gormans at this point knew they were getting screwed, right? And so Last Relic doesn't have the recordings as much. I think the Gormans knew.
Sometime tonight, you guys will get an email with the details of the termination. And where we would like to be is we would like to work with you guys. Brandon did commit to doing an inventory of the store, because if the inventory of the store is over $100,000, like we're willing to open up conversations about that. But ultimately, Brandon is taking over the store, and the franchise agreement is terminated as of now.
Okay.
So, that's the situation that we're in.
That it's helpful for me to hear that. To a couple of points that I want to make sure to clarify. So this by your own.
Yeah, Kai's like young, right? Like, look how young he looks in the picture. Like, he got his certification in like 2023. His computer science. He's been working at Bricks and Minifigs for like his whole life. Like, honestly, they're probably going to make Kai McAllister, hey, Kai, we have this great opportunity in Salem for you. Brandon didn't want the store, but we think you should be the store owner.
Explanation. The precipitating event for this was we reached out and said we're considering...
No, I don't think there's any doubt. So my argument has always been, as soon as you take over the store, you need to pay Brian Menzel $80,000 or figure out some type of Lego. That's it. That's your responsibility, yes? But my reason I'm getting so heated is I got into this with a friend of mine recently, 2-3 days ago. We were playing Pokemon Go together, of course. He still owns one of the largest stores. Now, he doesn't own the store. It's his, like, dad. But he runs the store. He's the manager. And we talk about, like, different scenarios. Like, whenever I have a question about a scenario, I'll go ask him, even when I had my store. It's like, does this make sense? Like, is this stolen property? Like, does this sound like too good to be true? Like a lot of this stuff, right? Because of my Umu channel, mostly on Facebook now, we're mostly on Facebook, I get a lot of interesting offers. And when I don't want the offer, I'll tell him, hey, I can't take this. I'm out of space. I don't want to buy more storage. You buy it. You take it. This is what he wants. And then, every Christmas time, I'll get a nice gift or something like that, right? The idea of layaway and the idea of having multiple sets of the same item isn't uncommon in Pokemon cards, right? The most popular Pokemon, Charizards, Eevees, and so on, you're going to have a lot of the same item, right? But the idea of layaway is such a weird scenario because Pokemon cards go up and they go down. Pokemon cards are going down right now. They might go up again for Mat 30th, right? Who knows? Like, it's a roller coaster. It's like a stock market roller coaster, almost similar to crypto and some in aspects. It can go up 10%, down 10%, up 10%. Like, the reason that you wouldn't do layaway, something that like people don't talk about, is the price of those things change. Not month to month, not week to week, day to day. The price changes day to day. And if it ever changes in the store's benefit, let's say the price of the Snorlax is $100. You put $10 on layaway, okay? Tomorrow, the price is $120. Now, what you can do is, you can flip this card on eBay, and then you're going to make $20 that I should be making as a store. Because I should be selling this to somebody. Either I sold it today for $100, which is good, because I have cash flow to buy some more cards or whatever, right? If tomorrow this card goes up, you're going to come and buy it. If tomorrow this card goes down in Oregon, you're coming in for a full refund. So this card's $100 today. Tomorrow it's $90. You put down a $10 deposit today at 100, 10%. When it hits 90, you're going to come in and you say, you know what? I just didn't like that card so much anymore. Can I get my deposit back? I say, okay, here's the $10 deposit. Well, instead of selling the card for $100, I now have a $90 card. And then you put another card on layaway. Okay? If the card is a $100 card and you put down a $10 deposit, and let's just use a crazy number here, and then within 4 weeks it becomes $200, you pay your $90, you get the card, and now you flip it on eBay for $200. That's the community, right? I don't know any Pokemon store nationally. I'm not talking about locally. I know the national ones, right? I don't know a single Pokemon store that will put a card on for you on layaway. Let me tell you that's layaway. It's not just layaway for clothing or items that might go down. It's layaway for a collectible item that often goes up in price. Right? Cloud City wasn't always $10,000, guys. I do not know a single Pokemon dealer out of the hundreds I know that offer layaway for Pokemon cards. For expressly this opinion. It's bad business. Very bad business. Because this card, if I don't give this card to you in layaway, it sells today. And I get cash flow. Right? So you're basically gambling with my inventory. You're basically gambling with my inventory for no benefit to me.
And that got this whole ball rolling, correct?
No, not necessarily.
I'm pretty sure that's what you just said.
Yeah, I would be shocked if any TCG, Magic, Pokemon, Locana, I'd be shocked if you could find a single dealer in the entire space that does layaway. I'm going to Collecticon Houston. I'm going to go to Collecticon Houston, and I will interview 200 different dealers and ask them, do you do layaway? Do you do layaway? Do you do layaway? I would bet you, out of the 200 people I interview, not a single one would do layaway. And these are the vendors, right?
What got this conversation started of doing a termination agreement, agreeing to walk away both ends without us going after you for damages, that was initiated by her reaching out.
Yes.
We have known for a while that you guys were behind on things, and we have been taking a look at what measures it would take for us to reclaim those damages. We wanted to work with you guys, but
here's the thing, and Billy can confirm, it's not a different market. Because they also have, so we have TCG Player, they have something called Bricklinks. And just like TCG Player, the stocks go up and down almost every. So, no, it is not a different market, in fact. They have, just like TCG Player, they have this. I can go to minifigs, I can go to Harry Potter. I can actually check my Elsa minifig right now. Let's see, what's my Elsa minifig? Oh, I don't know, these look, shit, there is a lot of Elsas. I'm just gonna click on a random one. It shows me the year, it shows me where it is, I can add it. It shows me the price too, I think, right? At least on the app, it shows me the price. No. This is legitimately the same as what we use. So no, minifigs do go up and down all the time. I was actually, there's like pricing charting, something like this for minifigs. I was looking at it because I was kind of curious how much my minifigs were worth. And it's the same system like we do for cards. So no, you can't tell me that a minifig, specifically, I don't know the sets and so on, but same thing. They have like last sale, they have like current sale. It's the same system. It's the same system that we use for cards exists for Lego minifigs, at least minifigs.
We were on wit's ends when it comes to the amount of money that we were still owed. And so the ultimate kicker that started us looking for a termination was when we were reached out by your landlord, which was actually before she called us. But this seemed like a better option for us.
So the challenge that poses, and I want to make sure that, again, that we're both on the same page. You understand that I am in the United States right now.
Yes.
You understand?
So yeah, if you wanted to buy a docked octopus, you could then go to this Bricklink thing, and it'll tell you, oh, okay, these people are in France. And like, no, I don't want people in France. I want people in the U.S. No minimum, and they have a price guide. Look. So this is a very cheap figure. I probably should pick a more expensive figure more voluntarily, but it does go up and down depending on the database. So let me, that was a very ugly figure. Holy moly, that was ugly. Let me figure, what's a expensive, like probably Star Wars. Are there any like expensive figures? Like this one looks expensive. Okay, Luke Skywalker, yeah, that's a pretty good figure. I can click details, and it'll tell me, oh, wow, this is a cheap figure, too. Oh, this is part of his body. Oh, micro figure, that's why. But, like, yeah, people in Legos do track their money, how much everything is worth. They track it via this. Right? So, might be... So, they do. So, Legos do go up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. Billy says Lego is a comps-driven market. Like all, so if a Cloud City sells for $20,000 today, yeah, that drags the Cloud City price up from yesterday. So it's not a static market, especially over a year and a half. Right? Boba Fett. Yeah, let's go to Boba Fett. Okay. Like people are assuming like it's a static market. It's not. I looked at it. When I was building my Lego stuff, I guess this is a cheap Boba Fett. Okay. I don't exactly know how this works, but I can tell you that it does track the price of the Legos up and down, up and down.
You understand that I am at the store right now?
Yes, I do.
So we have not violated that portion of the agreement yet.
Yes, but you have violated as of right now, you are $25,000 behind in royalties. You are still $50,000 off from fully paying off the franchise agreement, and we were reached out by your landlord telling us that he was looking to kick you guys out of the location, which is a damage on our end if the location goes under. So those three big things are things that are also breaches of the franchise agreement. And I don't want to do this, but we really could look. We've had problems with communication. We've had problems on a lot of other fronts that we could look into.
Yeah. Okay. You see, it's like a stock market. This Spider-Man has gone up, probably because of the movie. This Spider-Man has gone up, what, 55%? What the hell? Like 5,500%? Oh, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That's why. So just like, just like Pokemon cards can go up a lot, these can go up a ton, right? Look. Superman goes up a lot. Oh, here's a free CPO. In fact, this is the same one. Oh my God, it's the same one. At the time, they're saying the free CPO is $3,000 now, guys. But when the guy was doing this, it was only $1,000. Yeah, that's the Go Free CPO from this.
Here they are for the free.
I'm with him. Was there like a gold one in there?
So this video was taken on 2024, middle of the month. The gold CPO that they tried to steal has tripled in price, or almost quadrupled in price, because the price that he gave it at the time was only $1,000.
The C3PO?
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the figure.
By the way.
Thank you. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, feel it. Is how light it is.
Oh.
But yeah, sorry. Let me make sure I got. Yeah, everything else.
It's just the weight. Why it's fake? It's fake? Just the weight? Is that why it's fake?
Well, you can't take the legs apart either. So.
Yeah. Come on there.
And then look under the arms.
I had
look. When he made the video, the gold CPO
and so this
was only worth $1,200. Okay. Now the Go Free CPO, the same exact one, according to this Brick Economy website, which I think is pretty legit, is valued at $3,600. Right? The lowest price you can get on eBay is $3,000. Lowest. And here, yeah, again, look at that. So by keeping the Lego figure from 2000 and whatever until now, the Lego figure has tripled in price. And people are telling me layaway is a good idea.
But what we figured would be better and what you guys would appreciate is if we just both walked away from this clean slate. Like,
yeah, that's not clean slate. For example, I have a cousin right now who is considering purchasing a location.
Oh, cousin.
Right?
Okay.
There are other options we wanted to discuss with you. We reached out for the purposes of having that conversation and figuring out a better solution. And it feels very much to me like we reached out, precipitated a kind of investigation on your part, and instead of talking to us about good options, you've skipped to what is going to be a very expensive option for both of us. This is not a good option. Do you have the authority to talk about some other options with me?
So there are no more other options.
Well, that's simply not true. You don't have the power to do that. If we were to go to an attorney tomorrow and they put an injunction on the store and closed it until we figured out who violated the contract more, the company's going to lose a significant amount of money. We don't want that. You don't want that. But you know that is entirely possible because the company violated the contract at least 4 times.
I'm going to tell you right now that when you read over the agreement, that the termination that you're going to get today, if you pass that to an attorney, that's not going to be a battle that you or the attorney is going to want to fight with you. And I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, what if I put this one at layaway? So at the time, it was a $1,200 figure. I say, all right, I'll just pay you 100%. I'll put $120 down. And then the price has skyrocketed to $3,000. Well, I'm going to be like really, really happy. But you're not going to be very happy. You took all the risk, right? You held on to the figure because the figure could have gone down. Instead of being a $1,000 figure, this guy could have ended up a $100 figure, right? So you, the store, took all the risk. I took 0 risk because I'm going to get my refund if I don't want the card anyway, or the figure anyway. And now I made triple the money that you were supposed to get.
Emotional time. And I acknowledge that.
It is emotional. It is also tactically unwise. If you would have communicated with us, we could have found a solution that would have been much wiser for both parties.
Ultimately,
and you're not talking to me.
Ultimately, if you guys had not reached out telling us about...
So I don't think Kai McAllister has any power to make a decision here. I really don't. He's just a kid. He's being used by Ammon and McNeff. This is probably his first and only job that somehow he's had for 4 years. I really don't think this guy has any decision-making power.
You're looking to move out of the country, you still would have gotten a termination.
When?
It may not have been right now. It would have been before the end of the year. It would have been probably this month. and it wouldn't have been on the same terms of us looking to have a clean slate. So, what I'm going to tell you right now is if we go the legal route, there is no option for clean slate. We will be seeking all the liquidated damages. And that is going to be an expensive battle. You're right. It's going to be a very expensive battle for you, and it's not going to be a good position for you guys to get into, which is why we figured that the option for us saying, hey, we're forgetting that $100,000. We're forgetting that. We're letting you walk away, and we're putting a store owner there to keep the store running. But as of right now, as of when you get that termination notice, your franchise agreement is done, and there's not that relationship between us. You also do not have legal rights to the location that the store is in, because we're the leaseholders, and so.
Yeah, so the lease was never actually turned over to Crystal. So again, this is a poor business decision by Crystal. She should have forced the lease to be turned over before she made a single dollar payment. The reason, so the lease, the entire time, since Crystal was the owner, was always in corporate's name or the LLC name.
There's not a whole lot of options for you. If you want to go the legal route, it's just going to be a mess, and it's going to be expensive for you.
Yeah, so why not consider talking with us rather than leaping to this?
We jumped on the call with Crystal this morning.
And you talked with her, or you talked at her?
We talked at her.
Yeah.
We sought to talk with her. Ultimately, we have every right to do what we're doing.
I believe you believe
choosing to do a clean slate is us giving you guys grace. If you fight this, then you're putting yourself into a whole lot of shit, and I don't want to do that to you guys.
I just
Oh, Kai Mikowsker, so nice. What a young gentleman helping the yeah, it's crazy.
So, I would sit down, you and Crystal, talk over the $100,000, and figure out if that's going to be worth it to try and fight that, you guys. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not.
I want you to consider, and please take this to your employers. How is saying you have no options, and if you don't do what we say, you're going to be in a whole lot of shit, giving grace? Does that sound like grace to you?
What's giving you grace is saying that we are not going to go after you for the $100,000.
Does that sound like grace to you?
It sounds like a threat, and I can acknowledge you feeling that, because in a way it is.
Okay, I'm.
Yes. So again, this guy really doesn't know. I really think he's very naive. I don't know how many of these other phone calls he's been part of, but he should not be the one on the phone. It should be Ammon McNeff. Should be some type of decision maker or flexibility. He basically was told, this is what the offer is. There's no flexibility. Go. Well, yeah, he's definitely not the right person to send. Yeah, it's not the right person to send.
I'm glad that we've established that you ended this relationship by threatening people and then them taking a financial loss. Because when we need to go to people who are saying, should we start a business with bricks and minifigs, we can say, in all honesty, they ended the relationship with us by threatening us and then demanding that we take a loss. Consider that when going with them for a franchise. They leave you holding the bag and they threaten you as you go out. And you just acknowledge that. This is the way you do business.
I really, really encourage you to read through that termination agreement, because there's going to be things in there that if you seek to go after us, or if you seek to defame us, like that's also not a pretty. We're trying to do our.
I would not say anything untrue.
And ultimately, you can say whatever you want to say. Just be aware that there are legal consequences to things. So
Yes.
what I'd encourage
Yes,
for
there
you
are.
two to do is read through that termination agreement, which you will get tonight. Look over it. If you really feel like it, you can read through the franchise agreement, because you have every right to do that. just know that the franchise agreement is terminated. Brandon is the owner of the store.
Oh.
And if you fight him on that...
So Brandon does take over the store, even though corporate owns it. Yeah, it's, they sent the lamb to get slaughtered, right? Like, the messenger should not be Kai McAllister.
No, we're not going to... I understand he's just been stuck in the middle. This is not...
Yeah.
He didn't choose to pull the trigger.
So, yeah, at this point, they thought Brandon was stuck in the middle, that Brandon was this innocent guy, and he had purchased the store, and then there was complications to it.
Trigger on this, you did.
And I appreciate that. Please don't put Brandon in the middle of this. But what I told...
please don't put... Like, Brandon has gone off, like, really scot-free. Like, you know, like, Josh Johnson, Ammon, McNeff. Brandon is the one who actually owns the store. Right? Brandon is the takeover artist, right? It's so funny how Brandon, by just, like, keeping his mouth shut, while Josh kept yapping and Ammon kept yapping, that Brandon is, like, scot-free. Like, he has taken very, very little blowback from this. But, like, who took over this? It was Brandon. Who took over the store from Last Relic? It was Brandon. So Kai McAllister has got far more blowback than even Brandon has. And that's crazy.
Told Crystal is after you guys read through the termination agreement and the franchise agreement, I have Discovery Day tomorrow morning until the afternoon.
Yeah, we can actually look it up. Oregon... Yeah, so, telephone calls, electronic. Oregon is one-party consent, so that's fine. Utah, let's take a look at Utah. Utah is also one-party consent, yeah. So they don't even have to tell Kai they're recording, because Kai's in Utah, and they're in Oregon. Both are one-party consent. Obviously, Ben is going to consent to the recording. So, yeah, this is all good to go. All of this is not illegal.
But then we can jump on another call and we can talk it all through. If you have any questions about the termination agreement or questions about specific things in the franchise agreement, we can jump on and we can talk about that.
Will you have the authority to negotiate that agreement, or do we need to talk with someone else?
So, I act in behalf of the franchise, and I've been tasked with working on this.
Okay, I just don't want to end up in a situation. I have negotiated a lot of contracts. I don't want to end up in the situation where you say, I don't have the authority to make changes to this contract. Will you have the authority to make changes to that tomorrow?
Okay, I don't have the authoughty to make changes
yes,
to that contract.
He does not, yes. Because he's like a nobody in this business.
And no one with authority to make changes to that contract would make changes to that contract.
That is, you can't know that. So let's sit down.
Okay.
I would rather sit down with somebody who has the authority to make changes to the contract rather than sign a contract with somebody who can't negotiate it. Again, I feel like the company is saying we've made all the decisions and we are refusing to negotiate about anything. This is bad business.
So tomorrow we'll set up a call, read through those things.
So I think Ben Gorman, who's Crystal Gorman's husband, he writes books. My understanding is when you write books, you have to negotiate the contracts, right? You have to with publishers and so on. So I have no doubt that like Ben Gorman probably does negotiate contracts because of the career that he's in, right? There might be prepayment, there might be post-payment, he might get revenue share. So I'm pretty sure that Ben Gorman is somebody who would have to deal with contracts just based on his job.
And tomorrow we'll set up a call.
I mean, we have no choice, correct?
Yes. choice to have a call with me us tomorrow. That's up to you, but yes.
Okay. Well, we can do that. I would advise you to have representation. I think we will as well.
Okay.
And we'll figure out if we have representation and you have representation in the room, is that a good use of your funds if you don't have the authority to make decisions relative to that contract?
In this instance, if you're bringing representation, we'll bring representation. That's a totally fair use of our funds, because we'd rather walk away with this with us agreeing to walk away without seeking any other damages. So we'll have that call tomorrow.
All right. Well, we will talk to you then.
Okay. See ya.
So that was the conversation. I think we have a update on the bandmap.com, and then that's probably it. Yeah, like, people have no idea how hard it is to break even in this type of business. Like, you don't... Like, everyone's like, oh, for the community. Like, the only people who say for the community in the Pokemon community are scammers. Right? Like, I have heard so many people, like, talk about the community. That's all they talk about. Day and night. Hey, community, day and night. And then they just scam people. And they leave. There was a dude who sold a $3 million Pokemon product to Logan Paul. His name was, like, Card Kahuna. And every day and every night, he would talk about how great the community was and how he was losing weight to the community. And then one day, he sold a fake package to Shine, who later then sold it to Logan Paul. If you want to know how awesome the community is, there you go, right? Like, that guy, there was no guy bigger in the community. I remember watching a podcast where it was like a bunch of influencers like saying how awesome he was and how good for the community he was. He literally instigated the largest Pokemon scam in history. It was his sealed case that eventually got to Logan Paul's hands. That was G.I. Joe cards, right? So yeah, I mean, I just don't. I think like community, like, it's good. I like it, but you can't talk about it all the time, right? Then it becomes very suspicious, right? Oh, okay. So there is no update. Okay, guys. Hopefully you guys have fun. We're gonna go play some more Pokemon Go, I assume, right now. Probably eat a nice lunch. Play some Pokemon Go. I had a fun time. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Saturday, I think I'm going to do an Ethan Klein stream. I think on weekends, I'm going to... I think on weekends, I'm just going to do a non-Reddit or non-Reckless Ben stream. And kind of just do whatever I feel like, right? We'll see. We'll see what the title is at the time. All right, bye, guys.